Did you know that Vatican City is the smallest country in the world? That's right. It's a country that spans just over 44 hectares, making it smaller than many shopping malls around the world. Now let's shift our gaze to the largest country in the world. Russia takes the crown here, spanning an incredible 17 million square kilometers. That's about 1/8 of the planet's total landmass. Speaking of landmass, let's move to the country that's the flattest in the world. The Maldives, known for its breathtaking beaches and resorts, holds this title. The average ground level here is just over 1 meter above sea level, making it the lowest country on Earth. Now, how about countries with unique geographical features? Have you ever heard of a landlocked country? Well, there are actually 44 of them in the world, but two stand out due to their unique position. Bolivia and Paraguay are the only two landlocked countries in the Americas. Let's continue our journey with a visit to the country with the most languages spoken. Papua New Guinea, a small island nation in the Pacific, boasts an impressive number of over 800 languages spoken within its borders. Now let's head to the country with the most neighbors. China and Russia share this title, each bordered by a whopping 14 countries. Imagine the diversity of cultures and traditions that blend along these borders. Ever wondered about the country that consumes the most coffee per capita? Well, it's Finland. Yes, the Finns are the world's biggest coffee drinkers, with an average Finn consuming about 12 kilograms of coffee annually. And how about the country with the longest lifespan? Monaco, a tiny yet prosperous city-state on the French Riviera, holds this title. The average lifespan here is an impressive 89 years. Our journey around the world has taken us from the smallest to the largest countries through unique geographical features and fascinating cultural practices. And that concludes our first round of country facts. Next, we're heading into the world of capitals. Scene script. Have you ever wondered which capital city is the highest above sea level? Well, the answer is La Paz of Bolivia. It sits at a dizzying height of more than 3.5 kilometers above sea level. Now that's a capital with a head in the clouds. But if we dive deep into history, we find that the oldest continually inhabited capital is none other than Damascus, Syria. This city has been a bustling hub of human activity for more than 11,000 years. Can you imagine the stories its ancient walls could tell? On the other side of the timeline, we have the newest capital city, Naypyidaw of Myanmar. It was established only in the early 21st century, in 2005 to be precise. This city is a glimpse into the future, with its wide boulevards and modern architecture. Speaking of architecture, let's jet over to Brasilia, the capital of Brazil. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, famed for its futuristic design. The city was planned and developed by Oscar Niemeyer, who had the vision to create a city that would reflect the hopes and aspirations of a newly independent Brazil. Now let's shift our focus from architecture to culture. Consider Tokyo, the capital of Japan, where tradition meets technology. It's a city that's always on the move, yet it holds on to its cultural roots. From the ancient temples to the neon-lit streets, Tokyo is a capital that truly represents the heart of its nation. And when it comes to capitals with a vibe, we can't overlook Kingston, Jamaica. Known for its vibrant music scene, Kingston is the birthplace of reggae. The city's energy and rhythm can be felt in its bustling streets and heard in its pulsating beats. Each of these capitals, with their unique traits and histories, stand as a testament to the diversity and richness of our world. They are more than just political centers. They are the heartbeats of their nations, embodying their past, present, and future. That's it for our capital facts. But don't worry, we're only halfway through our journey. Ever heard of a country with more than 800 languages? Well, you're about to. Papua New Guinea, an island nation in the Pacific, holds this record with an impressive linguistic diversity. The reason for this diversity is the country's rugged terrain, which has led to the formation of isolated communities, each developing its own unique language. Now let's talk about numbers. When we think of populous countries, we often think of China or India. But did you know that the tiny island nation of Seychelles has the smallest population in Africa? With a population of just under 100,000, it's like a small town on a tropical island paradise. Speaking of size, let's move on to the extremes. The largest country in the world is Russia, spanning across 11 time zones. On the other end of the spectrum, Vatican City, the world's smallest country, could fit into Russia over 700,000 times. But it's not just about size and population. Countries can also be unique in their laws. In Bhutan, for instance, it's not just a social responsibility, but a legal requirement to protect the environment. The country's constitution mandates that a minimum of 60% of Bhutan's total land shall remain under forest cover for all time. Now that's a law we can all get behind. Meanwhile, in Samoa, it's illegal to forget your wife's birthday. Now there's a law that probably has saved more than a few marriages. As we journey through these fascinating facts, we realize that our world is a colorful mosaic of diverse cultures, languages, and traditions. Each country, no matter how big or small, has something unique to offer. And it's these differences that make our planet such a fascinating place to explore. Remember, the world is full of surprises. And speaking of surprises, let's go back to our capital facts. Can you guess which capital city has no skyscrapers? Intriguing, isn't it? Let's dive right in. The answer is Washington, D.C., yes, the capital of the United States. The city's Height of Buildings Act of 1910 limits buildings to a height of just 130 feet. This is done to ensure that no structure overshadows the iconic Washington Monument and the US Capitol. Now let's take a quick journey to the east. Do you know which capital city has the most population? It's Beijing, the capital of China, with a staggering population of over 21 million people. Beijing is not just the political heart of China, but also a cultural and educational hub, hosting a multitude of universities, museums, and historical sites. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the world's least populated capital city. It's Ngurulemud, the capital of Palau, an island country in the Pacific Ocean. With a population of just about 271, Ngurulemud is a serene and peaceful city, quite a contrast to the hustle and bustle of Beijing. Capitals are not just about population and city planning, they are living, breathing entities that change over time. Take the case of Brazil. Its capital was once Rio de Janeiro, but in the 1960s, it was moved to a newly built city, Brasilia. The move was part of a plan to promote growth in the interior of the country. And let's not forget about Ankara, the capital of Turkey. Once a small town known for its long-haired goats, Ankara was transformed into a bustling metropolis after it was declared the capital in 1923, replacing the historic city of Istanbul. Capitals are full of history and secrets. And speaking of secrets, we've got a few more country facts up our sleeve. Did you know there's a country where there are more sheep than people? That's right. In New Zealand, the sheep population outnumbers the human population by nearly 9 to 1. That's a lot of woolly companions. Now let's hop over to Australia, a land known for its unique wildlife. But did you know it's also the only country that's also a continent? Australia is a land of extremes, with the world's largest sand island, Fraser Island, and the largest living structure, the Great Barrier Reef. From the land down under, we journey to the heart of Africa. The Democratic Republic of Congo is home to the world's largest lava lake, nestled in the crater of the active Nyiragongo volcano. It's a sight that's as beautiful as it is deadly. While we're on the topic of natural resources, let's not forget about Saudi Arabia. This desert country is not just rich in culture, but also in natural resources, holding about 1/5 of the world's proven oil reserves. Next, we travel to a tiny nation with a big heart. Vatican City, an independent city-state enclaved within Rome, Italy, is not only the smallest country in the world, but also the spiritual home for over 1 billion Catholics worldwide. Let's end this round with a touch of history. Did you know that Egypt is considered one of the oldest countries in the world, dating back to 3100 BC? That's over 5,000 years of history. And finally, we can't forget about Bhutan, the only country in the world where gross national happiness is more important than gross domestic product. This small Himalayan kingdom measures its success in terms of the happiness of its people, rather than economic indicators. That's the end of our country facts, but we're not done yet. Let's take one last trip to the world of capitals. Ever wondered which capital city is known as the City of Light? Well, it's none other than Paris, France, world-renowned for its luminous cityscape and a beacon for artists and lovers alike. Now let's hop across the globe to Tokyo, Japan. Despite being one of the most technologically advanced cities in the world, Tokyo is also home to the historical Imperial Palace, a stark contrast to the city's modern skyscrapers. This juxtaposition of ancient and modern is part of what makes Tokyo so unique. Now, imagine a city where the streets are lined with cherry blossom trees, That's Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States during spring. The annual Cherry Blossom Festival is a sight to behold, with thousands of trees bursting into bloom, painting the city in hues of pink and white. From the United States, let's journey to the Middle East. Riyadh, the capital of Saudi Arabia, is a fascinating mix of tradition and modernity. It's a city where you can find bustling souks selling spices and gold, just a stone's throw away from glittering high-rise buildings. Next, we're off to the southern hemisphere, to Wellington, the capital of New Zealand. It's not the largest city in the country, but it's got a heart that's larger than life. Known as the coolest little capital, Wellington is famous for its vibrant art scene, beautiful harbour, and friendly locals. Finally, let's head to Europe, to the capital of Greece, Athens. It's a city that stood the test of time, with landmarks like the Parthenon bearing witness to its ancient past. Athens is an inspiring testament to human resilience and ingenuity, a city that's been continuously inhabited for over 7,000 years. And that brings us to the end of our journey. Remember, every country and its capital hold a world of wonder, so keep exploring. In this video, we've explored 50 intriguing facts about countries and their capitals. We've journeyed through the vibrant landscapes and rich histories of countries worldwide, meeting their leaders and understanding their unique cultures. We've also delved into the heart of these nations, their capitals. From architectural marvels to fascinating local traditions, these cities have offered us a glimpse into the soul of each country. Our journey didn't stop there, as we further explored more countries, unveiling hidden gems and surprising facts that left us in awe. We then took a closer look at the capitals, basking in their beauty and the stories they tell. In our final round, we shared more country facts and wrapped up with some final intriguing facts about the capitals. It has been an enlightening journey, to say the least. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating facts. Until next time, keep exploring.